This is a magical new sound. A very magical new sound. We love it. We want more of it. The woods are alive with the sounds of vacuums. What'd it do? I don't know. What do it do? Yep, fart of humanity. Alive and well. I'm feeling very Ted Kaczynski this morning. I'm feeling quite Ted Kaczynski. Hopefully it stops soon. Yeah, hopefully. One could hope. I'm just going to sit and listen to it. I'm making mental notes. Yeah, shit in the aisles of the Walmart is not exactly an unknown thing, right? I think our homeboy's blowing out his gutters. That has to be done. You gotta get up there and blow out your gutters from time to time. I got a small channel. Can I get a shout out? Nope. I must blow leaf. I must suck dirt. I must. What am I smoking on? Weed. Ugh, just weed. I'm just flabbergasted, bro. The deep, abiding stupidity of this fucking flood of people that has just come in has got me fucking... That plus the suck and blow has got me fucked. Has got me... It's twisted my whole mentality this morning. Twisted my whole shit. shit. Imagine bumping in to one of the people that's getting banned up out of this chat in real life. Imagine you bump into one of these people and you have to ask them for something, like they're working a job or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are we gonna do? How do we fix this amount of retard? What's to be done about it? What could possibly be done about it? It's a tidal wave. Get them out of the public schools so they get zero education instead of 0.01 education. That doesn't fix it. Most of these people are just as stupid as their parents, so you can't ask the parents to educate them. Their parents are in a lot of cases, dumber than the kids, so you can't, that's not a fix. Clearly, public school ain't working, as is evidenced by the chat. I'm sure you can see that. The lesser of no education. Yeah. Better school, perhaps. Yeah, but that's not going to fix the current problem, right? Let's say that we go like this, right? Let's say I'm a genie and I snap my fingers. And when I snap my fingers, every school in America is now top 1% school in the world. Kids are immediately getting the type of education they need, right? We do it now. I Thanos snap it into existence. It's still like 30 years before we start to see the benefit of that. And 30 years worth of 3-4 generations of people who can't read, can't interact, see the barest insinuation of the ability to be pseudo-anonymous, and they do nothing with it but screech into the void. You see what I mean? Pay up. Raid them and have the people take the power back? Huh? The people are the problem. The people are too stupid. Are you getting it? It's not about the educators anymore. It's about the absolute phalanx of retardism that we have to face for the next 3 generations. We would need to. We would need to literally gather up the last 2 generations of human beings. So if you are age 35 or younger, you have to go back to school. And you literally have to start at kindergarten, learn your letters, learn your ABCs, learn how to read 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, learn how to spell, and go through the whole fucking thing again. And even then, we might still have problems. Artificial intelligence will finally allow me to become... No. Nah. How old do I think you are? Music, games. I'm guessing with the games, because people that do that, they came from like the late 90s, early 2000s. They came of age. So I'm going to guess you're something like 30, 35, something like that. Because nobody under the age of fucking 35 says games. You know what I mean? They don't spell games with a Z. That was like a very specific slot of time. I'm guessing you came of age in the early 2000s. puts the gay in Marvin. Is that the case? What up, Grumpy? Dude, I am grumpy today. I'm not even gonna fucking front with you. I'm grumpy as fuck today. I'm feeling the grouchy vibes today. You guys have done that to me, though. Gamez is an obscure surname. No. I don't think so. It's not. Galatian? Maybe, but not. No, I think Gamez kind of reveals you. Nobody under the age of 30 is typing games with a Z at the end of it. They're not typing Gamez, bro. Juarez? You remember Wares, dude? Dude, I bet you do. You remember Wares, don't you, you old motherfucker, don't you? 25? Damn. Did your dad name your account? Remember Wares, dude? Dumbass motherfuckers found out about it and they started calling it Juarez because it was spelled W-A-R-E-Z. Wares. $12-year-old. Okay, well, that makes sense then. 12-year-old you. Juarez. Yeah, don't be spamming. Act like you got a mama. Juarez with a J. Yeah. I know Juarez, Mexico. Kajit have wares if you have coin. This one smells skooma. How old am I? Old enough to know better, man. But young enough to be stupid enough to try it. I'm right there, man. I'm right at that point in my life, bro. Old enough to know better, but young enough to be stupid enough to try it anyway. Right there, the danger zone, baby. The danger zone. It's the main thing that's grinding my gears. I don't even know today, man. I woke up feeling okay today. I was kind of like, and then everything fell apart. That started over there, and then the fucking chat went retarded, and it just has blown up my whole day. And now I don't know. I know I'm irate. Like, I know I'm fully fucking irate. I just don't know exactly what about, you know? Did I have my coffee? No, I have not had my coffee. That might help. I have not had my coffee yet. So that's a good point. That might help. I did my stretching. I did my meditations. At least my morning meditations. That is something I do when I'm just barely fucking awake, bro. That gets me to the point where I can speak. But I did skip the step of, because I did my whole morning routine, bro. Got up, did my meditation, did some stretches, took my medication and got Dinor his breakfast, but I skipped the step of start up a pot of coffee. Yeah, look at that. Life ain't so bad sometimes, huh? Yeah, you're the one guy whose chat isn't crazy and cruel to each other at this very moment. Well, I mean, that's because I have a bunch of mods who are dedicated to making sure that the chat doesn't remain that way, because it doesn't serve anybody for the chat to be completely worthless. Like, the whole point of doing these is to interact with people. And when you can't interact with people because too many people are trying pick me behaviors, you know what I mean? It makes it kind of fucking lame for those of us that are looking to actually interact with other human beings. So those motherfuckers get kicked unceremoniously out. There it is again. If you get banned, it's because your retarded parents failed you. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. What even is that? A giant fan? It's the bane of my existence. It's a leaf blower. In my opinion, the most evil contraption ever invented by man. The most viciously, deciduously evil contraption ever invented by man. An absolute nightmare of modern convenience made inconvenient. It's literally, like, I call him the lazy rake. It's literally a lazy rake. That's what it is. Completely and utterly useless contraption. Completely and utterly pointless. Everybody hates them. Nobody's happy that this dude is fucking screeching up leaf blower all day. Nobody's like, yeah, man, I'm down with this. This is awesome. Nobody, not a single human being, right? So everybody hates it. Oh, you can make a pile with a leaf blower too, femboy. We had a stream one time where I was watching a dude do just that on a postage lawn, racking up them worked hours. You could tell that motherfucker got paid hourly, because he was just leaf blowing for about 6 straight fucking hours and making no progress. Yeah. Where I lived before I moved out here was leaf blower central, 24/7, 365. This is a pretty rare occasion. A dude's blowing out his gutters, so whatever. You know what I mean? Once that's done, he probably won't need to be leaf blowing anymore. But you know what I mean? Like, the place I came from, every day was leaf blower central. You can't even sit out in your backyard and enjoy the fucking sound. So this is one of the reasons why I'm looking to build a compound. I want acreage so that my houses are back away from this type of bullshit. So if somebody wants to circle jerk themselves off leaf blowing all day, I don't have to sit and listen to it. And so that's why I'm making my fucking way towards that. Because, you know what I mean? You pay a premium for peace and quiet. And, you know, when you have it ripped away from you, it sucks. And the only way you can really ensure that is to have acreage. Put your shit back off in it to where other people's noise just can't penetrate. Can't get you there. No, no, there's just a Harley that's owned somewhere up here. Somebody was ripping around on it in the middle of the night. Yeah, yeah, that's a good plan, Ghoul. That is a good plan. That is my hope. Is that within the next couple of years I can get that rolling. That's my big personal life goal. Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, that's important. Family, you know, family is an important thing. Friends are important. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you see eye to eye with the person that you're doing that with, but it sounds like you got that worked out. That's the only caveat. Other than that, great dream. Chase it. Chase it and make it real. Don't let your dreams be dreams. The nature is glorious. 'Tis why I'm here. What would I tell my 26-year-old self? Not a damn thing. That motherfucker wouldn't listen to me anyway. That's the dead ass truth. I remember that guy. 26-year-old Paul wouldn't listen to a fucking word I had to say. So what's the point? You know? Whatever he did got me to here, and I'm pretty happy here. So 26-year-old Paul did a good job. What was 26-year-old Paul like? Invincible, heedless, kind of like a wrecking ball of a person. You know what I mean? Not always in a bad way, but just I had a momentum that was unstoppable. You know what I mean? Towards what? I still to this day don't know. Towards this, I guess. But nobody was going to tell me nothing. Getting out on my own, you know, getting kicked out of my house and moving out and getting the job and paying my own way, you know, starting that sort of thing. It did strange things to my head, man. I got full of myself. I was like, well, shit. Wait a minute. I make the fucking rules now? Okay. Cool. You know what I mean? And I'm still very much that way, but I'd like to think I'm a little wiser, a little older, and a little more cautious, a wrecking ball, you know? But yeah, in my 20s, man, I had momentum. My life was just heading somewhere, right? And nobody was going to stop it. You know, for better or for worse, you know, I was hard-headed is a term that my family uses a lot when they're talking about me. Hard-headed, right? Just stubborn and cocksure and self-assured and kind of I know what I'm doing and I know where I'm going, even if I'm going nowhere and doing nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the best I can describe myself. So yeah, 26-year-old me wouldn't be privy, wouldn't be looking to advise. Or sorry, wouldn't be looking for advice from old ass me. From a lost 26-year-old, great answer. Oh yeah, well, just know that all of us go through the same kind of tunnel, man. I mean, the circumstance might be different, but the fucking momentum is the same. You're invincible at that age. You're just absolutely fucking sure you've got it figured out, and you don't, but ultimately you do, right? Right, like the mistakes that you'll make, the barriers that you'll run up against and what you want to do are all going to teach you lessons. And as you bounce off of things and bounce through things, you'll figure it out, man. People worry too much. And it's part of American culture and Western culture broadly that I really don't like this idea, cuz you'll ask a little kid like, what are you going to be? It's like, how is a little kid ever supposed to process that? I mean, they can want to be something at that age, but why would you ever prioritize that? Let the little motherfucker figure out how to be a human and let him make the decision for themselves, I feel like there's a whole lot of extra stuff. That's always been the case, though. This whole, like, what jobs are going to exist in 10 years thing has always kind of been the case. I'm 27 now, and I've definitely gone up so much in 7 years. Learning you're not invincible is hard, but important lesson to learn. I also learned that you can start over again and still be happy. Those are good lessons. Those are good lessons to have picked up in your 20s, I'll tell you that. You get those behind you, you're doing pretty fucking good. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again, baby. Paul, the wisdom wizard. That's me. That's me to a T. The wisdom wizard, bro. I'm gonna go make some coffee. gosh, all right. Got some coffee going. That's good. That's good news. Ugh, that's positive news. Yeah. My life has been an exercise in going with the flow, which, you know, go with the flow is like a euphemism that people will use. Kind of means like let go and don't worry so much about tunneling into the future. The future's coming anyway. It'll come to you. And if anything, I think that at this point in time, my life is kind of defined by that principle. I don't know that I can answer that honestly, like for you to be quite honest. Like I don't know that I can tell you what I would have done. What I will tell you is that, you know, at this point in my life, that guy, 26-year-old me, is a distant memory. And I don't know that I could speak for him any more than he could speak for me. You know what I mean? That's something to really think about. It's like you will be a different being in 20 years, right? And how you adapt and how you deal with things it'll be unique to you. You're developing yourself always, right? And when you reach a certain age, you have a lot of that self developed. Yep. Change or die. Yep. Adapt or die. Recognize opportunity. Don't be afraid to take it, right? Try and take your opportunities with as little fear and as much confidence as you can, because what is a mistake today will be a foundational lesson tomorrow, right? All of that. Create or die. Make something. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't have to be art. Make something. That's what human beings really strive for. Creation. Make something. Maintain something. Nurture something in yourself. Build something slowly, but brick by brick. You don't even know what you're building yet. You're laying the foundations for it right now in your 20s. Lay the foundation. Scope it out in your 30s and see what you can do with it. That's what it's really like. Smart stuff. Smart stuff, Sophia. What did I just walk into? The Twilight Zone. I know what you're thinking. Where are all the screeching retards? They've been banned. I don't know if they'll say Paul is dead for real this time. The Paul is dead meme is so old. So old. See what I mean? Every once in a while you get one of those people and they just have to be ushered out. They're brain broken. Brain broken and too stupid. But for the most part, I've found that once you get that crop of people, oh shit, you eat banned. Yeah, sometimes you gotta. That's a skill. Eat banning is a skill. How do I feel about Israel? How do I feel about it? I feel like the people that live in that area deserve a system of government that doesn't foster death and destruction between the two of them. And so I think that it should be kind of a blended one-state solution, facilitated by the international community, with a peacekeeping force and an interim government and all of that. Let's do a little nation building. So the end result is not a country that requires constant bombs to sustain its existence. Brain brokenness, or people just yeah, I don't know, man. Clinical psychologist and stuff, I don't even know how you would go about starting to like wean somebody off of that had taken it to a super unhealthy place. It's so ubiquitous now. It's like in everybody's pocket. It's in everybody's TV. It's in everybody's, car. I don't know. What's your philosophical cornerstone that you hold on to when everything is stripped? In your view, what is the absolute of reality outside of ourselves? The Tao. I'm a Daoist. I don't really push it. I'm not an evangelical Daoist, but to me, the concept of wu-wei, conscious inaction, is kind of the center of it, right? That is the unifying theory in my philosophical cornerstone, right? It would be the Tao, right? The Tao being described various ways, but my favorite way is incessant change, right? The Tao is the motive force from which everything draws its energy, right? It is itself change inherent, constant and subtle, and incessant, right? So for me, philosophically speaking, my unifying philosophy is the Tao. Well, nihilism is utterly compatible with the Tao. The Tao does not impart meaning. Notice I didn't say that it is the fountain from which meaning springs. The Tao is the opposite of that. The Tao provides force and change, right? And so I'm, you know, philosophically speaking, I tend towards optimistic nihilism these days. You know, with a bent towards applicable pessimism, right? Boys get a beard and glasses and get deep. Huh? Say what, son? Dualistic continuum of consciousness. On this continuum, we're dealing with neurological. Okay, so panpsychism, then. I dabble in panpsychism for sure. Everything is psychology, yes. Bringing people into existence when you suspect that human existence is only bound to oblivion and non-existence is morally wrong, because morality does not exist if not justified outside ourselves. Man, you're real caught up. You're real caught up. You need a little wu wei in your life, friend. For a while and see what the Tao says. What do you think happens after death? How do you mean? There is no after death. Death is part of the cycle, right? So there's no before death, there's no after death. Death is a part of everything around you, right? Everything that you see passes. Entropy is the only, absolute law. And so there's no before and after death, right? Death is. So no heaven? Well, I didn't say that. Perhaps heaven is the final moment of operation in your brain, right? Maybe that's heaven. Maybe that moment feels eternal. You know what I mean? Perception is reality, right? And so how death is perceived by someone who is going through it is something that we don't know, right? Only those people that have gone through that know it, right? And so this idea that heaven has to be this physical place that you go to, right? Or that a concept of heaven has to exist in order to justify the continuum of life, I just don't buy it, right? Heaven is here if it exists, right? And it's incumbent upon you to see it and appreciate it. And part of that heaven is the cycle of death and rebirth that we see all around us, right? Every plant that you see behind me and every tree is growing and existing on the bones and remains of other trees and other plants and other animals that have fertilized that soil over thousands and thousands of years, right? Nothing here would exist without death. Life has no point without death, right? There is no life without death. Deathless life is, you know, a paradox. Do I love God? No. It's usually bad moments that feel eternal for me, like last time I had diarrhea. Yeah. I get it. But that's a matter of perspective. Even stars and galaxies die. Yeah. Are there any metaphysical elements in Taoism, or is it just a philosophical framework? There are metaphysical elements to broader Taoism, but the Tao Te Ching itself is mostly bereft of that, if not entirely. A lot of what was built on the Tao Te Ching incorporates mysticism and metaphysics and stuff like that, the Buddhist pantheon and all of that, right? But the Tao Te Ching itself is a meditation on the Tao and how to live in accordance with it, right? Time isn't just relative to the mind. Time is relative, period. Yep. Eternal recurrence is something that Nietzsche truly believed and late in his life. It was no longer a philosophical exercise to him. It was something akin to truth. The idea that you live this existence in exactitude, eternally and forever, right? And he looked at it as a beautiful and liberating thing to come to the realization of, because it means that you are what you make yourself. right? That there's no need to have enmity with who and what you are, because you are as you recur. Consciousness, personality, or whatever one can claim as us isn't like plants, though. We're not reborn after death, and if we are, we're changed to a degree that we don't represent who we were. Citation? You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, we don't. The truth of the matter is that we are all slaves to our own perceptions of reality, right? So we can think that plants have an existence that is nothing like ours, but to experience it might be very much like ours. We are cousins with them, after all, right? We share a profound amount of DNA with everything that's around me. I don't know that it's necessarily understood when one is on mushrooms, but mushrooms can be a gateway, right? As can other psychedelics, to a deeper understanding or a deeper kinship with the world around you, right? We are one is a kind of psychedelically tinged message for a reason. Most of my plants have a horrifying existence being experimented on in my greenhouse. I don't know if they see it as horrifying. A greenhouse is like a beautiful, wonderful, magical Garden of Eden to plants. That's why they're built, right? Traps all that nice heat and moisture in there and lets the plants live in this wonderful, swampy environment that they just want and love. You know what I mean? It's nice and moist and warm. You don't know. You don't know that they're suffering in there, man. They might like that shit. Trim me, baby. Splice me. Crossbreed me. Yeah, daddy. The world is a... We don't know the inner lives of other beings. We assume them. We presume. But we don't know. Living in a living in a novel. Wouldn't it be safe to say that take it one step further? We're living in a simulation. And the reason nothing makes sense right now, the reason why everything seems to be 180 from the truth and reality right now, is because this simulation has run with a faulty paradigm, right? It is an experiment, if nothing else, right? And so they have introduced a chaotic element to our existence, and they're going to watch what happens, right? They being whoever built the simulation. Simulation theory is almost certainly true. The question is, do we live in the one true universe or the theoretical trillions upon trillions of simulated ones? I know what the odds are of that, being one way or the other, but, trillions and trillions to one. So, yeah. Being itself is the cause for our ache. Being itself is the cause for our ache and suffering. If we're not alive, we would be free from the ache and free to confront the absolute reality. This is starting to sound like a death cult. Death is a part of the cycle, right? Not to be feared, not to be dreaded, but to be accepted as a natural thing. It is what happens to us all. All life experiences it. And it is the one unifying principle of life. Yeah. It's like death is a door shit, man. Well, maybe, but I don't think you have any idea what's through it. Big guy. Dude, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I'm gonna finish the little bit of this one that I have left, and then I'm gonna sit in contemplation for a second, and then I'm gonna go get myself some coffee, and possibly twist up another one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't like taking cues, but I like that cue. Hot take, is Elon Musk an alien? No. Elon Musk is a fucked up, crazy, autistic dude that's on like 28 different drugs. Come on. Come on, dude. Holy cannolis. Yeah. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on that joint for now. Because I've had a realization that I'm pretty stoned. Cheers. The ketamine rolls, dude. Yeah, the dude is fucked up. I'm right-leaning. Is that okay? Yeah, I don't care, man. I'm not here to police your political beliefs or whatever. As long as you just keep it fucking chill. That's really the only thing that gets people booted out of here is not respecting the vibe. You know what I mean? And you've been pretty chill. So as long as you remain chill, you're cool. Your politics don't matter to me, bro. Human beings believe all kinds of different shit. The K-hole roll, yeah. Well, he's out now, dude. He's. Did you guys hear he got in a fist fight in the Oval Office? Have you guys heard this shit? We're gonna have to cover it on the show coming up tomorrow, Tuesday. Gotta. Elon Musk got in a fist fight with, I can't remember who it is, but somebody in Trump's cabinet. And I'll tell you guys what I remember reading in the article, right? Somebody in Trump's cabinet, the Treasury Secretary or somebody, I don't know who it was, I can't remember. I think it was Pete Hegseth, but it might have been somebody else he got in a fight with. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. He's in the Oval Office, and this guy goes, hey, man, you said you were going to find $1 trillion of waste, and you haven't even found, like, 10 billion yet. You haven't found shit. And Elon Musk apparently shoved him. A shoving match ensued, and blows were thrown, and Elon has a fucking shiner from it. Like, Elon has a shiner and is now officially kicked out of the Trump administration because nobody likes him because he's impossible to work with. So he got beat up in the Oval Office and now he's kicked out. Well, if you go back in time, I want you to remember this, Sophia. If you go back in time, one of the things I said about a Trump administration, because everybody was freaked out about all the weirdos he was empowering, I was like, people have forgotten one thing about the first Trump administration, apparently. This Biden pause has made people forget. One of the things that typified the first Trump administration was internal bickering so bad that he could never get anything fucking done. And ding, our first fucking slaughtered pig of what is going to be a long 4-year term is Elon Musk. And I'm pretty sure if somebody went back and looked, I called that as well. That Elon was going to be the first one. I said Elon was being too familiar, too flexy, taking up too much of the limelight, sucking up too much of the attention from Trump, and that he was going to be the first goat to get its fucking throat slit. And here we are, baby. Here we are. Do I think that Vance will last? I don't think Vance has lasted yet. Vance, like JD Vance is nowhere in this administration. I think they buried his ass already. So the question is, who's next? And that's what everybody's asking themselves in this kind of administrative nightmare, right? Like who is going to be the next person that can't walk the line with Trump? Who is going to be the next person that pisses off Trump and takes Trump down you know what I mean, down a peg in public, says some contrary shit, gets on his wrong side. Does Vance wear eyeliner? I'm pretty sure he do, yeah. Everybody's head is on the chopping block. And the infighting is going to be real and devastating, just like it was in his first term. Trump cannot brook any disagreement. There are too many strong personalities that he's gathered around him, and they're going to provide the slightest little pushback here or there, and they're going to get their asses beat, literally, apparently. RFK's on the chopping. All of these fucking people are on the chopping block. There's a chance that we have a whole new slate of people midway through. 2 years from now, none of these original dudes. There's a huge chance none of these original dudes are sitting. One of those things. One of them things. Yes. Trump flipped his whole cabinet. The turnover in his cabinet was almost 100%. Trump flipped his entire cabinet the last time he was in place. I'm not the sage of politics. I'm just old. I've seen the game. I know the rules of the game. I've experienced it. I know how they couch it and how they publicize it. I know how the fucking rotating villain theory works, right? I know all the little games that they play. I know that they were giddy to the point of fucking ecstasy when Trump got elected. Every last one of them, because they knew they were going to fundraise like fucking crazy off of the back of Trump. Right? And so when you know that this game is not what they're telling you, it's what they're doing. Right? And a lot of people are stuck on that in politics. Well, she said this. Well, she said that. She said this. Trump said that. Trump said this. He said that. She said this. Right? What are they doing? And if you pay attention to what they're doing, you'll notice a pattern. And it is a predictable cycle of planned failure, right? I'm talking about the Democrats here. And it leads to a constant social lurch to the right. That's it. It's not fucking rocket science. It's not wizardry. I don't have a crystal ball. I've just lived through enough cycles as a politically aware human being to see the pattern that is so evident once you've been through it, right? So I just know this. I know this like the back of my ass. That's it. That's all it is. I'm not so much right as just correctly describing reality. That's it. I like how all the rich liberal wine moms in my area went from Hillary hats to Bernie busters this year. Oh yeah, for sure. Hey there, sweetheart. You found your coffee. You're onto something, Paul. I don't care to be onto it anymore, though. The thing is I've gotten so worn out because I'm not the guy, man. The way I come off to young people, it's like, hey, little bro, let me tell you what's up. And I don't know how to couch the fucking shit that I'm saying in a way that doesn't come off that way to young people. And so clearly I did a horrible job of, expressing my fucking point. And pretty much just like all the young folks that are more popular that I've interacted with, right? They all hate my guts now because despite the fact that I was right, right? It was like, you know what I mean? And so it's just like, you've done nothing, right? You look at the output of all of your political grousing and advocacy and shit, and it's just like, you made a bunch of fucking enemies of people that you agree with 90% of shit on. And I got to be the center of that in some way, but I was never trying to be the Pied Piper that led people out of this shit. I was just speaking my truth in the only way I've ever known how to do it. They're hearing it as continuous older brother talk. I'm perceiving it as wise uncle talk who won't couch it in BS like dad. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I don't really want to be either of those things. I'm not trying to be a leader of some sort of movement or some shit. Like, I'll be 100% honest with you about that. I would not be a good central figure for that. I just don't have the mentality to be that. Nor the desire, right? So I'm just speaking my truth. I know that the Democrats and Republicans drink at the same bars, go to the same parties, go on the same golf junkets and golf at the same golf courses and stay at the same 5-star hotels and eat at the same 5-star fucking restaurants, okay? I'm not a retard. I've seen it too much. Seen the hand in glove way that the Democrats and Republicans maintain their grip on power and maintain the constant shift economically and socially to the right in this country. And that's how I've seen it. I've watched the mechanism by which it's done. I've heard all the excuses. I've seen the rotating villains. I've seen the upstart politicians that everybody puts all their fucking hope into turn into corporate fucking nightmare slaves. I've seen it. I know the game, right? I'm not trying to little bro you with that, but I don't know how to explain it to you other than historically. Look at the recent history of democratic activism in this country. Look at what it's led to. Look at the political outcomes, right? All of it bad. Almost. Very few things that you could point at as positives have come out of the left-wing movement in the last 20 to 30 years in this country. Most of it has been a slow, inexorable lurch to the right on social issues, on economic issues, and on foreign policy issues. They've become more like Republicans were in the 80s than Democrats ever were in the 80s. So I don't see that as progress. I see that as anti-progress.
I also feel like they're doing the long scope on their strategy to oppose Trump. Like, they're parading around AOC and Bernie Sanders. Like, they're gonna take back the country again. Where's the next AOC in a state that needs to flip?
There isn't one.
It's like they need to flip shit.
Yeah.
In 2026, but where's the momentum about 2026?
There isn't. All they're talking about is 2028. Yeah. The midterms don't even matter strategically anymore.
But if they were trying to, obstruct, we should be popping up new AOCs in states.
There are no new AOC. They don't want new AOCs. Yeah. AOC is going to have to be managed. Yeah. They don't want new AOCs. They're not out there looking to actually make change. They want the status quo. That's why I've been saying, bro, Hillary is coming back. She's going to be back in the mix. Bet your ass. Once the dust settles on 2028, she's already making the moves, baby. I won't count that woman out until she's dead. When she finally finally takes the dirt nap, that's when you can put Hillary out. Till then, though, when she's still out doing appearances and interviews and all of this shit, she ain't out. She'll be right back in it. They break bread while discussing divide and conquer strategies. Absolutely. 100%. How do we turn both ends against the middle? There it is. That's the dinner conversation at the Democrat Republican 5-star restaurant in the back room where you can't go. That's why they hate Luigi. Oh, they're terrified of Luigi. They don't hate him. They're terrified of what he means. Dude, there's a political cartoon. I invoke it often. I need to get it printed out and put up on my wall somewhere, so just so I can reference it constantly. In the cartoon, there is a narrow alleyway, and a car is lengthwise in the alleyway, and the front side is smashed, and the back side is smashed, trying to go, forward and back. One wall says Democrats, one wall says Republicans. Car smashed up. Dude in the car says, well, that didn't work. Let's throw it in reverse. That's the political cartoon of all time, bro. That is American politics summarized in a succinct political cartoon. 100%. You were right about there not being any other Luigis. Oh, bro, dude, because they went, dude, they're not walking the streets like that fucking CEO was anymore. They're not out there pretending they get to walk to work like normal people now. Now they're rolling up in fucking bulletproof SUVs and shit, and they've got big security guards walking them everywhere. They weren't gonna let themselves. They just got a rude wake up call that they don't get to walk around among us. The temperament of American people towards billionaires and oligarchs and healthcare CEOs and just CEOs of big mega nationals, multinationals, right, is not good. And Luigi was a wake-up call that they probably shouldn't be walking the streets lacking, because people are pretty pissed off at getting butt fucked. So yeah, I knew there wasn't going to be another Luigi. Are they dumb enough to kill Luigi? Dude, that remains to be seen. We'll see. What are you looking at, T? Come here. Come here. Let me see you. Let me see you. Let me see that dirty D. I'm giving you a bath today. I'm getting a bath today. No two ways about it. We're getting into suds. You and me. We're gonna scrub a dub in the tub of tub. He don't like it. Got to do it.
He had his bricky.
Mm-hmm. I brecked him up. Don't get it twisted, D. I brecked you up.
Mm-hmm. You don't get sick.
Nope. You can't make it.
Scooch it an inch.
I need 1 more inch of clearance. It's a wiggle worm. Anyway, I think I'm going to get out of here. I'll see y'all some other time.